you know, most in this room have been a part of this event for a very long time and would agree that Amex has truly helped catapult this tournament to new heights. You know, bringing a renewed life and energy to the tournament, as well as, of course, the commitment to the local support of the charitable endeavors. Dedicated to giving back to the community, the long-standing legacy of supporting the Coachella Valley through the Impact Through Golf Foundation, and enhancing the support of critical local organizations in the area. In addition to the support of local small business, as it remains a focus, once again this year, we're set to highlight a number of local groups to our sponsors and spectators this year on site. This past January, it was announced that Amex extended their title sponsorship until 2028. So again, one more round of applause. And I mentioned that those charitable efforts a couple weeks ago over at La Quinta Country Club, we did announce $1 million from last year's event to 37 groups. So I'd like to recognize our host venues, of course, joining us today, PGA West, to Ben, to Don, to the team, thank you for all your support. La Quinta Country Club, I know Chris is here, Kurt is here, Tim Putnam and the team. So thank you for certainly everything you do to put on the event, to present these golf courses the way you do. I know it takes an army and a great staff, but you guys are great leaders, so we appreciate it. And Mayor Evans, of course, thank you. Host City, La Quinta, also a fellow board member of the Impact Through Golf Foundation. Thank you for being here. So as many of you know, the tournament has a long-standing history here in the Coachella Valley. First played in 1960, then known as the Palm Springs Golf Classic. The American Express is the annual PGA Tour event held here in January. Certainly welcomes the best golfers in the world, along with thousands of spectators, to watch the tournament and its unique format. Certainly, celebrities and dignitaries were the focal point of this event for so many years, but recently the event has put a premium on first-class entertainment, first-class fan venues, and fantastic spectator amenities as well. So as we prepare and we look forward to 6 weeks from tomorrow, we wanted to just highlight a few things as far as the fan venues that are back this year, some new fan venues as well for those of you who are playing golf. You will see construction is well underway. It takes us about 2 months to build this whole thing. Our team on the operations side of things has been hard at work. So you'll see out there on 18 green when you finish today or go through there. We've got the Casamigos Club back again, certainly a fan favorite from previous years. New this year as part of that Casamigos experience, we're offering a premium pass as part of that. So some hosted offerings, reserve section right there on 18. And then and lastly on 18, you'll see on Golfer's Right, back again this year is the Champions Club. Champions Club is our fully hosted, high-level shared hospitality venue there on 18. Of course, the famed Rock at Alcatraz. There are a dozen golf balls on your cart today for a reason. Has been known to take some victims on the professional side, but certainly on the, I will not be playing today, so I will not try my luck on 17. But of course, you know, the Nicklaus Ultra Beer for Birdies on 17 will be back, very popular spot. And a new fan venue this year, we're having what's called the Turn. The Turn is on number 9, fitting, of course, as the players turn to number 10. Should be a great spot to hang out, watch golf on number 9, on number 1. We'll have a large LED screen there to catch tournament action throughout the course of the week for our spectators. Unique merchandise offerings. Ticket prices, $50 on Thursday and Sunday, $79 on Friday, Saturday. They do go up from there. Of course, all of our ticket offerings are available on our website, themxgolf.com. And then one last piece on before I move on. In that turn, or adjacent to the turn, we are building a military outpost this year, Patriots Outpost. Went away from that with COVID in the last few years, but back by popular demand. all active duty, retired, veterans, military, etc. will get complimentary access into the golf tournament this year. And then we'll have this reserve space right there on the 9th hole, perfect place to watch golf, spend the day. So just a thanks to the military and all they do to support, and how fitting today, being the anniversary, of course, of Pearl Harbor. So I would certainly be remiss if I didn't call out and recognize too our largest local sponsor who is in the room. I believe our friends at Spotlight 29 Casino. Spotlight Coach of the Year today. You're playing golf, so thank you for everything you do for our volunteer program. We couldn't do it without the 1,200 volunteers across the 3 golf courses, of course, here at PGA West, at Quinta Country Club. But Spotlight, they stepped up last year for us. They're our volunteer sponsor, and feed them, drink them, host them for parties, receptions, welcome them, of course, to the casino, I'm sure, when they're not here volunteering, but thanks for being here. Our popular concert series is back. If you haven't seen it yet, we saw it briefly in that commercial. We are so excited for this year's event on Friday, Saturday night. Yes, it is a golf tournament. I'll get into some player announcements here shortly. But the concert's back. Friday night we have Gwen Stefani. So Gwen is born and raised in Irvine, Southern California, and front woman from No Doubt. Of course, she's also married to one Blake Shelton, who was here a couple weeks ago. So we can't wait to have her. She is 3 Grammy Awards, 60 million records sold, or something like that. So it'll be a unique demographic out here at PGA West on Friday. So we'll bring the fans out for sure. And Saturday, which should be a lot of fun. Darius is a big golf fan. If you don't know, he will not be playing in the Pro-Am, but he's a big golf guy. He loves it, and he should be out here singing his Hootie songs, certainly singing his Darius songs, and has also a number of hits, also 3 Grammy Awards, ironically enough. So a lot of great things going on outside the ropes for our fans, of course, for our ticket buyers. I mentioned those ticket prices are on our website. Amex card members, 20% off on all ticket prices and ticket purchases in advance of the tournament. And then, of course, when they are on site, merchandise, food and beverage offerings, that 20% off for card members, truly the best deal out on the PGA Tour. So let's get into some golf here. I hear someone there. We'll hang on one second. I got a couple of announcements just to make on the field this year. I'm so happy to be making this today. So we've got, I talked to a few folks yesterday. We're calling the starting 4 for the golf, I guess. But the field itself, interestingly enough, players don't need to commit to the golf tournament until Friday at 5 o'clock the week before, which makes our lives a little stressful, certainly as event planners and operators. But the field is truly shaping up. So we already have 5 of the 12 International President's Cup team members who have already committed, highlighted by Sungjae Im. Probably saw that on our social channels a couple weeks ago. Sungjae is ranked number 20th in the world. We have 5 past champions playing this year. Jason Duffner, Bill Haas, Adam Long, Andrew Landry, and Siwoo Kim. Joining us for the 4th consecutive year, coming off his best season of his career, he won 3 times since July with back-to-back wins. Tony Finau. I know we've got one big Tony Finau in the crowd, as she asks every time I see her. Is Tony coming back this year? And today's the day we'll announce that Tony will be back. He's played with us. I believe he finished 4th here in 2021. So breakout season, President's Cup, Ryder Cup, fan favorite, of course, and just a fantastic guy. I will not forget 2021. Most of you were unfortunately unable to be here with it being COVID, but this gentleman, Patrick Cantlay, world number 4, he shot 61 on Sunday and didn't win the golf tournament. Siwoo Kim won the golf tournament, but despite no fans, despite no Pro-Am, it was the golf was at an all-time high, and for him, for some of you playing the stadium course out there today, he didn't shoot 61 from the tees you'll be playing either. So it was just mind-boggling to see it, and just a great young man, UCLA grad, 8-time winner. Patrick, we're excited to have him back, of course. And next announcement, the third of the four, a breakout season, no question about it, last year. So Scottie, he finished top 25 here in the desert, and then went on a run of all runs to catapult to be number 1 in the world. Highlighted by a little tournament there in Augusta, Georgia in April, where he donned his first major. Got him up to number 1 in the world, but he won Phoenix, he won Arnold Palmer, he won the match play. And then, of course, the green jacket there in Augusta. So excited to have Scottie back, and she should be a fan favorite as well. The last player I will announce today is an exciting one. He hasn't been here since 2017. And Larry, I'm going to stump you on a little trivia.
Oh, let's try.
I'm going to try. So he hasn't played in 17, but in 2016, Xander Schauffele, La Jolla, California resident, got his first sponsor exemption here at the American Express. Did you know that?
I actually knew that.
It never sneak one past Mr. Bohannon. But no, Xander is, we're excited to have him. He hasn't been with us since 2017. Of course, we all know him and Patrick are close as captains on the international, on the Ryder Cup and President's Cup team. San Diego native, and world number 6, of course. So those 4 are big announcements today. We're excited to have them. We're looking forward to having them. I'd say in the next couple of weeks as well, we will have some additional announcements to make. And our field is just shaping up truly to be one of the best it's ever been. So great early list. You know, we'll have 156 of the best players in the world, 3 golf courses. Our purse this year will be $8 million, which is up from 5.9 in 2019. So our largest purse that we've had, again, testament to Amex and all that they do to help support this event. Ticket prices, again, online, amexgolf.com. Limited number of hospitality offerings. Our 3-day pro-am, fortunately, is only available at this time. So I would like to call on a friend. Just spoke with him yesterday, and we've been waiting on hold for a few minutes as he just dropped his daughter off at school. This man has won 3 times on the PGA Tour, including back-to-back times at the Fortinet Championship up in Napa. And talked with him yesterday. He calls this his hometown event. You know, he grew up just an hour away in Idlewild, California. He's finished 6th place here in 2017. In 2015, when we were over at the other side of the street here at PGA West, he finished in 2nd with runner-up to Mr. Bill Haas. But calls it his hometown event. Growing up in Idlewild, Brendan Steele joined us on the phone. Brendan, are you? Can you hear us all right, my friend?
Yeah, I'm hearing everything, Pat. Thanks for having me.
What's up, my friend? How are you?
Everything's going great. Excited to talk to you guys, and always excited for this time of year. Amex sneaking up on us.
Yeah, no question. You know, congratulations, of course, on your consistent play throughout your career. You know, last year, solid year, but 7 top 25s, 4 top 10s, 2nd place at the Zozo. What were your goals from last year on tour? Did you feel like you achieved them, underachieved? Tell us a little bit about last year's season for the group here in the room. Packed full house here at PGA West.
Yeah, so it was a good year last year. I mean, obviously, every year you want to win. Every year you want to get to Tour Championship. I didn't do either one of those things, so didn't quite get to everything that I wanted. But that being said, played a lot of really good golf. You know, obviously, 2nd at the Zozo was a good highlight. Had back-to-back really good finishes at PGA and Memorial, 2 top 10s there at big events, so felt really good about those. And so in general, it was a really, really solid year and something I can build on for sure. And I always like to get off to a big start on the West Coast and play a lot. And being from out here, it's a little easier to travel and get home, after the event. So I feel like I can recharge a little bit and then head to the next one. So I'll hit it pretty hard to start this year and try to pick up a win early and get into Masters and get to Tour Championship this year.
Awesome. So you're going to start at Sony. Is that the plan? Head over to Hawaii before you come see us?
Yeah. So for a lot of years I started in the desert, but recently started to enjoy going to Sony. So I'll play Sony and then head out there.
Awesome. You're the definition of consistency, certainly. It only took you, a dozen-ish starts to get your first win back in 11 at Valero, and you've been out here on tour ever since. So 13-year veteran. How have you been able to maintain that steady form throughout that very consistent career?
Yeah, it's funny when you look at it over 13 years, you can say that it's very consistent, but it doesn't feel that way because golf is so hard and it's changing all the time. So there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of stretches where you don't play well for 3 months or 6 months or maybe even longer, and then you feel like you're never going to come out of it. And then there's other times when you feel like you're onto something and you're going to play great every week, and that is really fun. It just doesn't come along as often as you'd like. But I think for me, it's mostly just trying to stay true to how I play, but also try to get better, which is a hard balance to strike. You have to understand and assess weaknesses and stuff. So sometimes you do that and you go backwards, and that's just natural. But you have to try to do that and be smart and not lose your identity as a player. So it's a delicate balance, and you have to surround yourself with people like your coaches and your caddies and guys like that can kind of whip you into shape when they see you going down the wrong direction, and you have to know when to listen and when to do your own thing. It's very difficult. There's a lot of intangibles there for sure.
So safe to say you enjoy California. You grew up an hour away. You've won twice in this state. Talk to the group a little bit about you growing up, playing out here at PGA West, your high school golf, your junior career. Talk to the group a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, so growing up in Idlewild, no golf course up there. Just kind of played mostly baseball and soccer when I was young, and then starting about 13, I decided I wanted to play golf, which is obviously a little late for PGA Tour players. And my dad was kind of like, well, how are we going to do this? And so he would drive me all around, all over the place, but he ultimately put a net and a little putting green in our backyard and kind of dug out a bunker and put some sand from the hardware store in there, and I would hit balls up against the house and hit balls into the net and chip to the green and putt out there and just have a club in my hands one way or another. I went to high school in Hemet, so other side of the mountain, but we would drive around for high school matches. I played desert junior golf growing up, which is, for those of you who don't know, is during the summertime, teeing off around 11 o'clock, which is pretty fun. We carry our own bags and carried our own water, and looking back, I'm not sure how I did it, but at the time, you love the game and you want to get out there, so it didn't bother me as a kid anyway. But so I did a bunch of that. Came to the tournament as a kid a few times. Just has a really special place in my heart. So it's something that I always look forward to. Sides are not that far away. Everybody kind of makes their way out for that week, which is really kind of fun too.
Now, thoughts on, of course, PGA West, of course, the Nick tournament and the stadium course versus where the rotation used to be? Yeah,
I mean, a little more difficult, obviously, now with stadium, and Nicklaus tournament can be difficult as well. The funny thing is that the winning scores haven't changed that much, which I think is just a representation of how good the PGA Tour is and how good the field is that we get out there these days. But definitely significantly harder than when we were across the street. And there's a lot more demanding shots and a lot more big numbers kind of waiting for you. You know, obviously 17 and 18 are really tough holes, but there's a lot of other spots that can sneak up and bite you. So you got to be on it. If you're hitting good shots, you're going to make birdies. You know, the course is always in great condition. The greens are great. But if you make mistakes, there's a lot of trouble out there. So you got to be on your game. You got to be paying attention for sure.
Sure, and certainly a unique event. Us and Pebble being on 3 golf courses. We do have our friends at La Quinta Country Club today. How about that golf course? Is that one of your favorites as well?
Yeah, I love the PGA Country Club. I mean, traditionally, they have the best greens that we see on the PGA Tour, which is just, I mean, pretty amazing when we play all these great courses all through the course of the year on all different surfaces. I think La Quinta Country Club has the greatest greens that we play year in and year out, which is really a testament to the job that they do there. But the golf course is great as well, you know, and I really enjoy coming out there and playing and practicing. And I came out last year with my dad and did a practice round early, and it's such a nice place to go and a fun place to play. I really enjoy the rotation the way it is.
Awesome. And you know, your schedule for this year, what's the plan? Of course, being here, and then of course the landscape of golf is changing a little bit. But have you mapped that out, you know, past January, February time frame? Any insights on that?
Yeah, it's a little tricky, you know, and I kind of reserve the right to make adjustments based on how I'm playing and how I'm feeling and everything. But the plan right now is probably to play Sony and then come to the desert, and then I probably won't play again until Phoenix, and play Phoenix, LA, Honda, Bay Hill, and Players. So that would be 5 in a row. I did that last year. It's kind of a tough stretch for me being an older guy now with a family, but I love all those events. The one that is kind of everybody's taken off is Honda, and that's one of my better events, so I don't really want to skip that. And unfortunately, that means that Torrey and Pebble have to be out this year, which are 2 events that I like as well. So this early part of the year is hard for me because I like everything so much, and I want to play all the time, but I can't play 10 in a row to start. So, so that seems to be where I'm going to come down right now. I may adjust, you know, there may be like a Pebble take Honda off this year or something, but we'll save that for another day.
And certainly you mentioned you like playing out west, you like playing early season, back-to-back, first event of the year, certainly in 16 and 17. You won, say you were to pick up a win here at Amex, would that change your mentality, change your schedule? Of course, it gets you to Augusta, majors, etc. Would that change things?
Yeah, it might change things just a little. It would probably mean that Honda would be a victim because I would have to play, I'd probably play match play in the Masters, so then we're really starting to stretch it out there. And I'd want to try to do some prep for Augusta as well, head out there. You know, it's a tough job to head out to the Augusta a little early to play a couple of practice rounds. So I always like to make sure that I do that. Been able to take buddies out there before, take my dad out, you know, do some really cool stuff there. So I always really look forward to that. So if I can pick up a win early in the year, I may have to carve out some time to head there and enjoy that preparation as well.
Awesome. And then before I open it up to some questions here, but it's a short quote-unquote off-season, but any plans for the holidays and the off-season there at home?
Yeah, not too much. We were actually in the desert right after Thanksgiving for a couple days, which was really nice. I mean, it's the greatest place in the world this time of year, as you guys all know. So I love getting out there. I think we'll probably make one more trip out there, maybe after Christmas. And right before Christmas, we're going to go to Ojai for a couple days, which we just love getting up there and hanging out and going as a family. So we'll do a couple little trips, but otherwise just trying to do all the Christmas activities. My daughter's 5 years old, so Christmas is super fun and all the things that are going on around that. And other than that, just try to get my game sharp, get in the gym, you know, do the maintenance kind of things.
Perfect. Well, enough of me. Any questions from the group? We got Larry Bohannon first. Larry from the Desert Sun.
Brendan, how are you?
Good, Larry. How are you?
I'm good, actually. Beautiful out here. You're right. It's the best place to be.
Yeah, it is.
I've seemed to have done a lot of stories on Brendan Steele hits the leaderboard at the American Express through the years. Is that just the familiarity, or is it something about the golf courses, or is it something about you being really ready at the start of the year?
Yeah, you know, it's probably a combination. I wish I knew, so then I could make sure that I did those things. But I think, you know, the Pro-Am format, for me, I think I react to it better than some guys. I'm more social. I like being around people, so it's easier for me. It's almost like a nice distraction. So I'm not as grinding on every shot. I can just kind of focus in when it's time for me to hit, and then I can take a little break. So I think that's helpful. Obviously, try to get all my prep done and be really ready to go there because it's an important event to me. So I don't just show up and think that it's a week to practice and we'll get them next week. I'm trying to show up and be ready and hopefully have a chance to win. So I definitely make it a priority. And then, you know, obviously the familiarity is probably helpful. I've played at PGA West since, you know, it's probably 14 or 15 years old. So that's going back 25 years now. So I've at least been on the courses for a long time, even if I don't get to play them a ton other than the tournament these days. So it's probably a combination of all things, you know, as a lot of things are. There's not one simple answer, but I do think that because I make it a priority to be ready, you know, coming out of Christmas, and some guys are in worse weather, they're not ready to go. They use the desert as like a week to really get some good practice in because they've been coming from somewhere where they can't do a lot of good practice. And I'm using it as a week to try to go win and have a good showing at my hometown event.
Well, I look forward to writing that story again this year.
Well, good. I hope you get to
see if we can write it on Sunday this year, okay?
Yeah, that would be great.
Excited. Any other questions? Got one more coming?
Brendan, Jason Page from SportsMap Radio. I'll address the elephant in the room and ask you about LIV Golf. Is it something you've been approached about? And secondly, how much has this fractured the tour amongst people you talk to and talk with, guys that are for or against it?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's, you know, guys from all different viewpoints of it. There's guys that are like, you know, if they want to go and do their thing, that's fine. Just go and do their thing, and you know, don't try to come back and play our tour. Don't try to do anything like that. Then there's other guys that are really upset that this happened, you know, and it divided the tour and it divided, you know, some of the best players in the world have now gone away. So there's all different viewpoints on, you know, how big of a deal it is or how upset people are. I have not been approached. I think the way that it mostly has worked is guys have gone and sought them out and told them they're interested. For me, it's not something that I'm interested in. So it hasn't really been any sort of a thought for me. But I don't hold it against guys for going and doing it. I get it. I mean, we play a sport where it is very fickle. And you have no contracts as far as like, you know, signing with the Dodgers for 5 years, and if you get hurt, you're getting paid. We don't have any of that stuff. So to have a little bit of security and going over there, I think you can kind of understand the narrative for each guy, why they went. You know, some of it's purely financial. Some guys are older, some guys are more injured. Some guys haven't been playing as well, but have a big name. You know, there's all sorts of reasons why you want to do it. And I know it's hurt a lot of friendships and hurt a lot of people's feelings, and it's a weird time for us because we've never had to deal with anything like this. But for me, I'm fine if guys want to go. I think they just they got to make the best decision for them, but don't expect to come back and play on our tour either.
Any more questions? Time for one more, if there is one. Well, Steele, thank you, my friend. Appreciate the time today. Certainly look forward to having you out here in a few weeks. And I know everyone in this room is excited for January. So thanks for the time. Enjoy your holiday with your family and be well, all right?
All right, thank you guys so much, and just a quick thank you to Amex. You know, with this tournament has always been near and dear to my heart, and I know there's been a few years that we've been worried about title sponsorship and how things are going to move forward, and to have a sponsor like them come in and step up, I mean, they're obviously a first-class company. To have them be a part of it really changes everything, and I just, for me, that's really special and really important, and I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you. Excellent. Got a short 30-second video to close, and then we'll make our way down to the range. If you are playing, golf today will start about 10:30, so you got some time to hit some balls and get warmed up on the driving range. But again, thank you all for being here. We'll close with a quick video and enjoy your time either on the golf course or the rest of the day.
What's happening in Coachella Valley? Craig Campbell for CoachellaValley.com here at the Media Day, breakfast and press conference for the American Express 64th edition. And of course, we're here at the stadium course, overlooking just this most magical day here in the Coachella Valley, and getting announcements on players that are coming in. And of course, this tournament is coming pretty quickly. Check it out at theamexgolf.com. Of course, tickets and all the latest information and news. Of course, Darius Rucker and of course, Gwen Stefani, also Southern California native. And of course, Darius Rucker will be playing at PGA West Stadium Friday and Saturday. And of course, they finish up the tournament on Sunday. So, once again, Craig Campbell from CoachellaValley.com. You have watched a live press conference here at PGA West.